Welcome to our brand new series, Welsh Hunter Game Reviews. Today we are reviewing Control. Control is played from a third-person perspective, and it is built using Remedy's proprietary Northlight engine, which was first used on the company's previous title, Quantum Break. Control is set within the Oldest House, a featureless brutalist skyscraper in New York City, and the headquarters of the Functional Federal Bureau of Control, FBC. At the onset of the game, an entity called the Hiss is attempting to cross over through a dimensional barrier into this reality, and has taken over numerous parts of the Oldest House, reconfiguring its architecture to its needs, as well as many of the FBC employees to fight for it. The player, which is you and I, controls Jessie Fadden, who has come to the Oldest House seeking answers about her brother after prior AWE, but becomes involved in the fight against the Hiss. As the player completes main story missions, they will encounter areas known as control points, which can be unlocked after clearing the area of enemies, and then used both as save points and fast travel points through the building to previously unlocked control points. Kinda such as a teleportation, if you would like. As you, the player, completes missions, they unlock more of the building to explore with the additional side quests. In addition to various rewards, these include skill points, which can be used to improve psychokinetic powers that Jessie gains over the course of the game, such as projectile launching debris at enemies or seizing control of enemies' minds temporarily to turn them into her allies. An AI system known as the Encounter Director controls interactions with enemies based on the player's level and location in the Oldest House. Enemies in Control are predominantly human agents of the FBC possessed by the Hiss, an otherworldly force. They range from standard humans carrying firearms to heavily mutated variations that possess a variety of superpowers. Control was developed by Remedy Entertainment as their first major release since their initial public offering in 2017, and separation from Microsoft as a publishing partner. Control was developed using more efficient development strategies to keep the cost and time low. Control was completed within 3 years with a £30 million budget, lower than the typical costs of a AAA game. Remedy announced in June 2021 they signed a deal with 505 Games, or 505 if you like, to develop 2 additional games based on Control. One would be a direct sequel to Control, whilst the second is a little smaller, 4-player cooperative spin-off of Control, tentatively called Condor. The player's service weapon is central to gunplay. As you collect resources around the game, you can reconfigure it from a pistol into a shotgun, or submachine gun, or even for those longer shots, a sniper rifle, and for those explosive shots, a rocket launcher. You can only carry 2 forms of it at any time, presumably in order to simplify the control system, but you can swap them around on the fly. During the beginning of the game, when you become the boss, if you like, you will be given a service weapon. These can be upgraded and modded. Equipping the right mods for your situation can give you a crucial edge. While all the elements of Control's combat have been seen in countless past games, the way Control puts them together feels fresh, interesting and compelling to the player, which is me and you. The player plays Fadden, who is often beset by enemies, some of whom can fly and have shields, whilst others heal their Hiss comrades and even resurrect them from the dead after you put them in the ground. So a typical approach is to kill and kill again. Dead and even wounded Hiss drop blue shards that restore some of your health. So you pretty much need to stay on the move constantly whilst picking up everything you can and throwing it at the enemy until it is dead. Ducking behind cover when you're about to have rockets or furniture fired your way, emerging to replenish health, and so on. The boss battles in Control can be brutal as much as the architecture. Take some getting used to. The game itself is generally quite difficult and requires you to think on your feet, make quick escapes and conserve your power so you don't die quickly. So it is a good idea from the let-go to upgrade as much as you can in your menus. From the time that you switch on the game to the time that you finish it takes roughly 8 hours. If you do the side quests to get 100% control, if you like, it's less than 15 hours. So make sure you do all your side quests and all the story missions in order to get 100% on the game. So what happens when you die in Control the game? I found that it used Dark Souls style bonfires in the form of control points. These act as fast travel nodes, if you like, allow you to upgrade your weapon and of course respawn when you die. If you do die, you won't come back at the closest control point to your current objectives. You will resurrect at the last one you touched, or opened, or controlled, if you like. So you have just taken on a boss, or taken on several enemies and you get severely injured. So how can you control your health more? The only way to heal in Control is to defeat enemies. When you do so, you'll notice that they occasionally drop blue glowing crystals, if you like. Pick these up and your health will be restored slightly. It's worth noting that you're not going to regenerate and be fighting fit again on your own. So it is best to keep in the fight and upgrade those weapons so you don't have that opportunity of dying. So when it comes to upgrades, what should you upgrade first? The best skill in the game that can be unlocked are health, energy and launch. Health. Subsequently, improvements increase health, which is always useful. The first level gives you plus 10% health. 2, 3 and 4 give you 20% health. And the last level adds plus 30% more health. So get upgrading, guys. From the start, collect as much as you can to upgrade your stats. It will help against the boss. Control storyline is easily the most gripping story I have witnessed in a game for quite a while. The writers have done an impeccable job with the screenplay, often forcing you to believe whatever the narrative has to say. So I would say that it has a fantastic gameplay and a fantastic story. Well worth the buy. So what does Welsh Hunter Game Reviews think of this? So sometimes we have a very hard time finishing games without getting bored of them. Losing control, if you like, of the story, or just losing interest in general. The unique combinations of a third-party shooter mixed with magic-based combat systems was pretty much incredible to us, and really well designed and pulled off. Allowed it not to fall into a tedious battle that a lot of combat systems do. There are so many small details to enhance an experience, whether it is almost totally destructible world or a relief of efforts from the notes between employees and Jessie herself. or the absolute marvel that is the story.
My name is Jesse Faden.
Control universe is incredibly well crafted. Control universe is incredibly well crafted, making the supernatural or paranatural worlds they've seemed totally believable and left a constant desire to learn more as I went through the game. The idea of slowly connecting the dots and Jesse's story throughout the media spread throughout the game felt really rewarding. These are several really creative boss fights. There are several really creative boss fights, my personal favourite being with Jesse. Now, I have to say that I did feel a little underwhelmed by the ending. It didn't seem the explosive climax that I was hoping for. But it was still really cool, but it does resolve the story nicely. Other than that, there are really no complaints about this game. I would 100% recommend this game, and I would probably give it a solid 8.5. Actually, let's say a 9. I give it a 9 out of 10, 100%. So, if you would like to play this game, guys, it is released on PC, PS4, Xbox, Nintendo Switch, PS5, Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S, and Stadia. So go and check that out, guys. Links in the description below. I hope you enjoyed it.